The U.S. Embassy in Ukraine is closed today, and employees are being told to shelter in place. U.S. officials are warning of a, quote, potential significant air attack on Kyiv after Ukrainian forces hit an arms depot in Russia with U.S.-supplied weapon systems. Other countries followed suit and closed their embassies in Kyiv, including Italy, Greece, and Spain, but Ukraine is unfazed. Its foreign ministry says it faces threats of airstrikes every day, and this is just an unnecessary escalation. The caution comes after President Biden's reported shift in policy, now allowing Ukraine to strike inside Russia with
So we're going to continue that here, but I just wanted to get that video started by showing you the first half of that. It's only a minute long video. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what you believe politically. One thing we can all agree on is that, and hopefully we all can agree on, is that we don't want a world war, even though there will be one, and the Bible speaks of it. There will be wars and rumors of wars because we are living in the last of the last days. But you would think on his way out, President Biden would just be calm and relaxed and just chill, but instead he's given the Ukraine authorization to use long-range or ballistic missiles, hyperballistic missiles. And, that's just not a good look. That's just not good at all. And it's almost like, and I told you, I said the powers that be, they're almost going to blow this world up before they even turn over power to Trump. Because it's like they just want that war. But, at first I was thinking that they would have to be, if it set off a war, and many others believe this too, that could prolong Trump getting in, and therefore it could keep Biden in for 2 years. But when a couple of others and other people who I know who have big YouTube channels was looking into this, there's no way that could happen. It's even under a war. So therefore, that wouldn't stop President Trump from coming in the middle of a war, but as I thought it would. But at the same time, you're trying to hurt relations with Russia. Russia's wanting to have talks and say, hey, we're willing to talk. But you have Biden trying to set fires ablaze and also have these landmines set up to where you just want to fuel the fire and poke the bear and just really blow things up to where it escalates. And so Trump is trying his best to defuse this whole thing before things really blow up. And so we just need to be praying. The point is that we need to be praying for peace, for calm, and that things don't escalate, because they're already trying to get things set in place, and you have Biden now trying to even look into closing down some of these detention centers and camps that are holding people that have come into this country illegally and release them. That's being on the table for consideration right now. It's like more things to stifle and to hurt the agenda of trying to help this country make it better, when we've been already, American citizens have been killed, hurt, assaulted, raped by people coming into this country not legally and correctly vetted. Many cases not even spoke of, but yet it's like this administration have an agenda to allow this country to just, go down by the wayside. So now you have people by the thousands rushing to get into the border. I was looking earlier at the caravan. It's thousands. They're trying to hurry up and get in before Trump gets inaugurated. So that just means the greater the cleanup. And not only that, you also have all these Democratic governors and mayors saying that they want to try to fight to stifle and stop Trump's agenda of trying to get people who are in here illegal out. They don't want to cooperate. And, Tom Homan, who's Trump's border czar, is made it very clear under what law, I can't remember that law or statute that is, that there is an obstruction. There is a crime if you are trying to obstruct the federal government from doing their job. And I believe that this administration now, if Trump gets sworn in, they're not going to play around. I'm telling you, me personally, if I was a president, I'm not going to play around with you. If you want to break the law, if you want to commit crimes, but you want to talk about being moral, you want to talk about being right, you want to talk about doing things that are honest and, by the law, by the book, but yet you want to encourage people to break the law, I'm going to arrest you. Don't matter if you're a governor, don't matter who you are, no matter, you're going to be arrested. A mayor, you will be arrested. And, they'll try to lie and spin a story, whatever you want to, but it's time to get this mess cleaned up. And I like a lot of what I'm hearing with this new agenda. That is, well, it's not new. It's just him trying to get his agenda going. But you see there's a lot of people on the right and on the left that are trying to fight against what the people have voted for. But that's here or there. I'm just saying you have a lot of people that are fighting for what's evil and standing for what's wrong, and they don't want to make this country better. They want to make it worse. And you have people like Biden wanting to start wars now and set things ablaze. So we just really got to be praying, because you have them even making, trying to prepare for a what if scenario in case nukes go off. And you have a lot of things happening in the background right now as we speak. So we need to be praying.
To strike inside Russia with U.S.-made weapons. The U.S. is now letting Ukraine use American-made anti-personnel landmines against Russia. It marks another major policy shift by the Biden administration. The U.S. also reportedly granted permission to Ukraine to use American-made long-range missiles to strike inside of Russia. But the government hasn't confirmed that. Russia has said these moves would mean NATO allies are directly involved in the conflict, so Russia could strike NATO targets. Now, the U.S. argues Russia is the one escalating the conflict by recruiting soldiers from North Korea.
And because of the way that the fight has evolved, this is just another stage here. But again, our focus is to help them, is to meet their needs.
And the U.S. already sends Ukraine anti-tank landmines, but anti-personnel landmines target people. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says Russian ground troops are now leading movement on the battlefield instead of forces in armored carriers. According to CNN, U.S. officials claim these will be non-persistent, meaning they will die when the battery runs out. Otherwise, landmines can remain deadly to civilians for years.
So they say that would... it's Russia escalating it by getting or recruiting Korean troops, which I was doing some research. I believe that is true. But, I mean, you have both sides recruiting and strategizing. And Putin by far is no saint. But at the same time, you have, Biden is on his way out the door, but he really needs to sit his behind down and go on the beach and grab an ice cream cone or two and just chill out and let the new president come on in and handle business. Don't start no war. Don't escalate it. Don't pour more fuel on the fire. Just chill out. But again, anything the powers that be, what they can do to cripple the next man coming in. And number one, above all, is the military industrial complex wanting a war. And you know what it is. Wars bring big money. because the powers that be, like BlackRock and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all the others and the DuPonts and all of them and all the other names I haven't named, war is profitable because it pays the biggest people who fund it. And so it brings money, and war is money. That's what it is. The big profits off of war. You don't see that, but the people who fund it do. And so the military-industrial complex and others need those wars so they can make that money. So let us be praying. Pray, 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 watch and pray. Pray, pray, pray. All right, amen. See you next time.